Hey, I'm Jamey from Stonemaier Games, and today I'm proudly wearing our new 2024 Champion t-shirt at Stonemaier Games because I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in our new game, Stamp Swap. The shirt was designed by Miles Bensky. Stamp Swap is designed by Paul Solomon, best known probably for Honeybuzz, and illustrated by Connor Gillette. And this is our new game. This is a kind of a lighter weight game, light to medium weight game, that is an I Cut You Choose, simultaneous play, tile placement game. With a lot of neat twists on the I Cut You Choose mechanism. So in Stamp Swap, over the course of 3 rounds, you are drafting stamps from a public supply. We have this big insert full of stamp tiles that you're drafting. These tiles come out thanks to some event cards. Some event cards reveal which tiles come out, which shapes and sizes of tiles come out, and which ones are face up or face down, along with some other cards that are revealed in the display as well. So you're drafting items, mostly tiles, but some cards, items one at a time until you have 6 items. And then you'll divide up those items into 2 stacks, 2 groups. And the neat little twist here for actually two twists here for the I Cut You Choose portion of the game is that if you drafted a face down tile, it remains face down for this grouping section of the game. So they remain face down. You know that information, other players don't. The other twist, and this might be my favorite mechanism in the game, it's a little thing, but I really do like it, is that you are allowed to reserve one of those things that you selected. And it doesn't go into those groupings. You just get to hold it back, and when it's time to place those tiles or those items, if you decide to keep a card, it's yours. You get to reserve it just for you. I find in a lot of I Cut You Choose games, which I love, there's sometimes a thing that I really don't want to give up, that I've drafted because I want it. I don't want someone else to have a chance at it. And Stamp Swap gives you the opportunity to hold on to that thing. You can reserve it. The one twist to that, though, is that you can't reserve a rare stamp. Because this is one of my other favorite things in Stamp Swap. Let's see if I can find a rare stamp. There are stamps that are considered rare, and we have designated them with gold foil. Yeah, here you go. Here's some rare stamps. Here are 3 of the rare stamps. There you can see that glint. So they are gold foil stamps. So these are rare stamps. They are worth a lot more points. They don't help you for the set collection elements of the game, but they are worth a lot of points just by themselves. And so for that reason, you cannot reserve them. You have to put them in the supply, even if they're face down. So if you have a face down tile that you know is a rare stamp and someone else doesn't know is a rare stamp, you still can't reserve it. So that is probably one of my favorite mechanisms in the game. But I'll continue with the explanation because there are some other things that I really like. So once you've done that grouping, whoever is the first player will choose one of the groups that another player has created. So if someone chooses one of my groups, then they get that group of tiles or items, and then I get to keep the other one that was unselected. And then it's my turn to go to another player and select what one of their groups, and I get to claim their things. And then once all that has happened, and really, as it's happening, players then simultaneously get to place stuff on their map. And while all this is going on, all these steps that I've said so far, there is an element of progression to the game that I don't always see in other I Cut You Choose games, in that some of the cards that you're drafting give you ongoing abilities. So when you draft those cards, they give you an ability as long as you have that card, until you actually lose that card if someone else selects that card in one of the groupings. So you have this nice sense of progression of the game if you focus on those engine building elements. Also, every player mat has something printed on it. Should have pulled one out here. But yeah, each player mat has an ongoing ability, not an ability, but an ongoing scoring element that you get to score each round. So it might say for every I believe it's by color. No, it's by type. So for here's a vehicle stamp. So one might say for every vehicle stamp you have, score a point. And that's every round you're scoring that. So over the 3 rounds, you'll be scoring that. So you have this other sense of progression. You're not just waiting till the end of the game to score. And the last little twist of the game that I think is really clever is that in each of the 3 rounds, I'll pull out the game board here. So here's the game board. It folds out nicely here. So in each of the 3 rounds, you get to score one of the 4 goals. So you put out 4 random goals in 4 different categories at the beginning of the game, and you get to score. You get to choose one of those goals to score at the end of each of the 3 rounds. So that means you're never going to score all 4 goals. You have to choose 3 to focus on, 1 you won't score, and you're scoring them in an order of your choosing. and you only score them once. So there might be a color related goal. Maybe it's related to a group of a certain color, or the most of a certain color, or diversity of colors, whatever it may be. I might choose to score that goal first because, for whatever reason, maybe I did really well in the first round for drafting that, but I don't really want to focus it on that for the rest of the game. So I'll put one of my little tickets on that goal, and I'll score that. And then but I know that I'm building towards some of the other goals that I'll score. So typically you increase the number of points that you get every time you score a goal. So I've scored this goal. Later round, maybe I'll score for size. So there's a category based on stamp sizes or canceled stamps or the theme of those stamps. So I really like this choice of which goal to score and when to score it. It's a really, really big decision in this game, and it feels good when you get a big payoff, when you've worked towards the goal for a while and you get to score it. As I said, most of this is simultaneous, so the game flows really well. There's very little downtime. There's a healthy dose of interaction in terms of how you are, which stamps you are, or which items and stamps you are drafting, and which ones you are grouping, and then which ones you are selecting. And yeah, I love the game. I love the game from the minute that we signed it with Paul, and the game has only improved significantly over the course of playtesting and development since then. So yeah, those are my favorite mechanisms in Stamp Swap. I'd love to hear your thoughts when you've had the chance to play it, and I'm happy to answer any questions in the comments below. Thanks.